Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let's sing together. Bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum, bim bum, bim 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 bum, bim 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 bum. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Bim bam, bim 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 bam. Bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Take a deep breath and light the candles. And we know when we light the candles, we're going to shift our mindset. We're going to shift our way of being into our Shabbat selves. So let's do it together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. And when we see the light of the Shabbat candles, and it reminds us that this special 25-hour period is here where we can push our worries and our concerns to the rest of the week, but we're going to stay with our peaceful selves, with our blessings. We're going to focus on our blessings while Shabbat is with us. So let's welcome in the angels. Sing with me. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei HaMelachim, HaKadosh angels are messengers from the King of Kings, the Blessed One. Holy is that one. The Blessed One, God from on high, sends us these messengers to remind us to be peaceful on Shabbat. And they're with us now. They're with us now. So we're going to welcome the guest of honor now, which is the bride of Shabbat. You know, in ancient times, well, not too ancient, only about 500 years ago, the people in the city of Sfat in northern Israel, they dress in white for Shabbat, and they would, just as the sun was starting to set, they'd go out to the edge of town, and it's a hilly town, so they look down in the valleys, and they look up and see the sun going down, and they'd welcome in the bride of Shabbat, singing, just like my kitty is helping me do now. She wants to welcome in the bride of Shabbat with us. They used to welcome the bride in and bring her into town and into the synagogue. Okay. So, we'll sing. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmi'anu el hamiuchad, Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. L'shem tiferet v'litchila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Come, my beloved, let us greet the bride. Let us greet the bride. We'll welcome the face of Shabbat. Okay, so we're all together here now, and I want to remind us of this great psalm, Tzadik Katamar, because it tells us if you live a good life, a righteous life, we'll read the psalm, you'll see what it says. The righteous shall flourish like palms, grow tall like cedars in Lebanon. Rooted in the house of Adonai, they shall be ever fresh and green, still fruitful in old age, still with things to give, proclaiming that Adonai is just, my rock, in whom there is no wrong. Well, this week in the Torah, we have started the book of Deuteronomy, the last of our 5 books. And in Hebrew, the title of the book is Devarim, which means words. And the reason it's called words, Devarim, is because it's Moses giving a long speech. The whole book of Deuteronomy is Moses speaking, which is interesting because remember at first when God asked him at the burning bush to go lead the people out of Egypt, and Moses said, I have trouble speaking. I'm not very good at speaking. Well, in 40 years, he's learned. But there's also this very urgent and sad piece about this speech, because Moses has just been reminded in the book, in the beginning of our portion, he's just been reminded by God that even though they're right at the Jordan River, they're right at the border, and he can look over and see the promised land, God reminds him he's not going to go there. He's not going to lead the people there. So this is Moses' last opportunity to speak to his beloved people who he has led out of slavery, but they haven't quite gotten to the promised land. So think if these were your last words, how difficult it would be to look through your whole life. And Moses was 120 years old, to look through his whole life and pull out the most important things that he wanted the people to remember. And another interesting part is that the people who are with him now are not the people who left Egypt. They're the children of those people, because 40 years have gone by and all those people have died. The only ones left are Caleb and Joshua's going to be the new leader, and Moses. Even Moses' brother and sister Aaron and Miriam have died. So he's pulling together the most important things he wants people to remember. And how do you get people to remember something they didn't experience? Because it was their parents who saw the splitting of the sea, and it was their parents who saw the plagues and the wonders and the miracles that happened in Egypt. So he does something very interesting, and I want to read you a verse to give you a sense of it. And pay attention to how you feel when I read this verse to you. Adonai, our God, spoke to us in Horeb. Now, Horeb is another name for Mount Sinai, saying, "You have dwelt at this mountain long enough. Turn yourselves and journey. See, I have given you the land before you, that you can see before you. Go up to the land and take possession of it, because this is the land that Adonai swore to your ancestors, to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and Sarah, Rebekah, and Rachel, and Leah, and Bilhah, and Zilpah, and to their children that come after them." So what Moses does is he doesn't say, well, this happened to us and that happened to us and this was really amazing. He doesn't say that. He says, God spoke to you. And I don't know about you, but when I read it, I get the feeling like, oh, he spoke to me. He spoke to me. And so what Moses does in this speech, when he says you and your ancestors, he creates a whole people out of all the generations that came before, including even us today when we read the words in the book. He makes us all into one people who have had this common, if not experience, it's an idea that stays in our memory of who we are. We, this people, left Egypt, and we, this people, were led by God in the wilderness. And the other thing Moses does, he keeps pointing out, lots more in the portion, of course, he keeps pointing out remember that city and the land we were in there, and remember what we did here, and he goes on and on about the place. So that he, in this book of Deuteronomy, is giving us a sense of peoplehood and a sense of place where we belong, and a sense that we have a God who is guiding us and is giving us strength and is giving us teaching to teach us how we're to live. And the main thrust of the whole Torah, I say to people, if people say to me, what's the one most important sentence in the Torah, the one idea, is you know the heart of the stranger because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. And that's why we must treat the stranger with compassion. Love your neighbor as yourself. The rest is commentary. That's what Hillel said. Hillel said, don't do to your neighbor what you don't want done to yourself. So my point is that here it is, Moses' last speech, and he has spoken in a way which has given us a sense that we're a whole people going back way generations and forward to the... Can you imagine somebody giving a talk and thinking, 2,000 years from now, 4,000 years from now, people are going to be reading my words? Isn't that amazing? So Moses has given us the sense that we're a people. We have a mission to do, which is to act justly and righteously, and we have a place that's our own. Shabbat Shalom. So let's close asking for that the one who makes peace make peace on us, on the whole people Israel, and on the whole world. Because when people are at peace, then they can give the gifts that they have. They can spend their energy making things better. Osei shalom bimromav, Ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, Ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. When we feel strengthened by words of Torah, by the wonderful ideas that have been passed down to us in our tradition, we want to share that strength with people who are feeling in need of encouragement. So bring to mind the people in your life who are needing some support in their heart, in their soul, in their mind, in their body. So think of them and say their names. And we'll sing our song, our blessing for them. Mi sheberach avotinu mikor habracha limotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mi sheberach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. And we'll bring a little extra joy to our Shabbat with a cup of juice or wine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, ve'otanu kidashta, im kol hamim, v'shabbat kodshecha, be'ahava uvratzon, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. No, I left something out. Kaddish. So we'll say Kaddish and then we'll close with the Motzi. So for anyone who's commemorating the anniversary of a death, the yard site, or maybe someone close to you has died recently and you would like to say Kaddish, bring those people to mind and say their names. And we'll say Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yamechon uv'chayei t'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach leolam ul'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnasei v'yithadar v'yit'alei v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbachata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamayim, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom b'mormav, huya asei shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May you find comfort in saying Kaddish, and we know that the Jewish people all over the world are saying Kaddish, and we're counting all of them as our minyan. So now we will say the Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Enjoy your dinner, and let's we'll close with a song. Adon halam asher malach b'terem kol yatzir nivra. Li'et nasa b'chefzo kol, azai melech shemo nikra, azai melech shemo nikra, ve'ah hakol levado yimlok nora vehu chaya vehu chovel vehu yeh betifara vehu yeh betifara. Shabbat Shalom. I'll look forward to being with you next week.